Evening guys, it's Dan here from the tool room. A little while ago, Klein sent me their full range of insulated tools, and tonight I've been using them and I'm going to be telling you what I think of them. So let's get into that. So guys, this is it then. This is the range of insulated tools by Klein. I've been using them for a good while now. I've been enjoying using them. Some of them I already had, but I had a chat to Klein and, hinted that I'd like them to send me out the rest of them so I could have a little look at them and use them and see what I thought of them. And eventually they agreed to it and they've sent me all the others out. So that's great. So tonight I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of these tools, and we're going to have a little go through each one at a time. So let's start then with Klein's set of insulated screwdrivers. Now this is the set of 5, and these are all available as CEF. I believe these are about 40 odd pounds of CEF, but CEF quite often have deals on these, so you can get them cheaper a lot of the time. So it's good to shop. It's good to ask about things and look for deals. I will say that. This is my set. So in it we've got a 5.5 flathead, we've got a Posi 2, we've got a 4mm flathead, we've got a Posi 1, and we've got a 2.5 terminal. Now, one thing I will note about these, they're marked up slightly different in some ways. So you've got your 5.5 times 125 there, so that's obvious what that is. But if you look at these, they're not, so you've just got your 2 there and your sign, so that's Posi 2, and it's 100mm, okay? So you can read what they all are on the bottom nice and easily. They're marked up slightly differently to some screwdrivers, or some will just have a big 2 on them, but once you know what you're looking at, they're really easy to read. Now, these are made for the British and European market, okay? So these are 1000 volt rated, but they're also rated to VDE standards, okay? And that's going to be the same for all of what we're going to be looking at tonight, okay? They're all going to be rated to the VDE British standards and European standards in Germany, okay? So a lot of the tools we have are, some of the Klein tools we have are rated to American standards. For example, here I have some of these screwdrivers, which are the Klein 1000 volt screwdrivers, which I absolutely love. I love these handles, but these are rated to the American standards, not the British, not the German European VDE standards. So depending on who you work for, someone might moan about that. So just bear that in mind. But these are also really great screwdrivers, and I personally love these. As far as these go, they're all like very, very comfortable handles. I've been using these for probably a couple of years now, to be honest, and the tips are still perfect on them. I like the fact that they go slim at the end, so you can fit them into terminals and things like that. They're very good for that. They've got this comfy sort of rubberized fat sort of handle on them, which is nice. So, it's never caused me any blisters or anything, or caused anything to hurt as I was doing it. And you've also got a little hook there to hang things up with, so you can hang them on like a pin board or something like that. You can just hang them up on a screw if you screw into the wall or whatever you want to do. Put a little loop through them, whatever you want. They're useful for that. And again, these are highly tested. I've noticed that the signage hasn't come off them. Nothing's worn away through use. And yeah, they're just I've not cleaned them up too much. I've cleaned them up a little bit, but not much. But yeah, they're just a really nice set of screwdrivers. You can get these also in other sizes as well. So this is the set you get. If you buy their apprentice set, if you buy the set of the new professional set they've got, the ones that come in the bags as a set, or if you buy them in a box set, these are the ones you get. You can get them in other sizes as well, okay? But you can buy them as separates. Now, these come with a 2-year warranty. So if you do snap one of the blades, just through, because it fails, not through wear and tear, not because you're using it as a chisel or something like that, you all do it, guys, let's be honest, okay? Then these do come with a 2-year warranty. It's not like you have to take the whole set back. These are all sold separately at any CEF, so they will just take it back. And again, everything I'm going to show you tonight is a CEF job. Yeah, everything is available at CEF, okay? So, yeah, you can just take them back to CEF. As you know, CEF are all over the place, so it's dead easy to take them back if you want to. Now I found they don't slip particularly much. You know, they screw nice and easily, and like I say, you can get really good leverage on them because they've got these nice thick ball handles on them. And yeah, you know, these will keep you safe, guys. If you are going to, you know, be working on electrics, then, you know, don't go buying the cheapest things you possibly can. Get a decent quality set, because, you know, these things are designed to save your life. Now, so that's those. Really nice set of screwdrivers, really well made, and, you know, I would recommend these. And yeah, one thing I will say about all these Klein tools as well is what I like about them. Now, there seems to be some sort of boring sort of way people do things, where anything that's 1000-volt rated has got to be yellow and red. Has to be yellow and red, okay? Now, there's no law that says that a 1000-volt tool has to be yellow and red. There is no regulation that says it has to be yellow and red, okay? So this is what I like about Kleins. If you want to be a bit different to everyone else, then get the Kleins, because they come in a nice grey and orange, okay? Not the same as everyone else. So your tools will be, you know, they'll stand out from other people's tools, and they look a bit different. You know, I really like the look of these. You know, I like the grey and orange. It's different. It's not as boring as some of the other tools of, you know, just about every brand going, really, will make them in yellow and red, okay? So there we go. So I really like that about the Klein tools as well. So this is the Klein set of screwdrivers. You can buy them separate, like I say. You can buy them, you know, in the sets. You can have them with the tool bag gift sets. So they're really great ones to have, and they'll last you a long time, okay? So that's them. Now, everything I look at tonight, I will put the links up in the descriptions. You can get all these things, as I say, as CEF, and you'll see that popping up on the screen right now. There's the website, or get them in store, okay? And, you know, I'll pop all the links up there. So I'm not going to go through all the exact prices, okay? You can just have a look in the links. So let's go for it. Right, here's the first one I'm going to look at. This is the needle nose plier. Now, I really like this needle nose plier. And the reason I like it is that its nose is so needly, okay? So when you get a needle nose pliers, it's really nice to have a really thin nose on it. You can get a bigger set of these, but the nose isn't as thin. So this is the one I wanted, because it has got that really thin nose. This is 183mm long. You can get a slightly bigger one, but the nose is thicker. But this is what I like, because for me, a needle nose pliers, I never use the cutting blade. They are just to get into those little tight spaces, okay? And if you've got a cable, you know, it's nice with these needle nose just to be able to, you know, just bend that over like that. Obviously, this isn't the kind of cable you'd use. You'd use a smaller one, like a bit of fire cable or something like that, or a bit of 2-corner. But, you know, they're just good for grabbing things and pulling things and bending things. You can see with the teeth on that, as I've said about Kleins before, they have quite an industrial feel about them. They're not soft and supple. They don't come in chrome, but they really do grip. Now, we're going to do the white knuckle thing here, okay? So you can see the whiteness on my knuckles there. I'm really giving that a yank, and it will not let go of that, okay? Whereas some of them can slip off. So that's really good. I like that about these. I also like the body to handle ratio on these, okay? The handles are quite small, but they've got these buffers to stop you slipping, and the nose is quite long. So of that 183mm, a lot of it is made up by the nose, so you can get into, you know, quite a lot of gaps and keep your hand away from whatever you're going into, okay? So the longer that part there, which is always good on an insulated tool, the further you can keep your hand away from anything that's dangerous. Again, mechanical motion on these. I will just mention actually my plaster here. Now, this was Klein's fault. Remember that really nice stealth black electrician's knife that I love, that I use all the time? Well, it's very sharp, and I was using it for something it was not intended for, and I was using the end of it to poke off the end of to poke off the washer on a fire extinguisher hose, and I slipped and cut my finger. So yeah, it bled a lot. So I've got my little plaster on there. So excuse my scruffy plaster, everyone. And I've been wearing it for work, so my hands are a bit dirty today. I've been doing a panel change at work today. Back to this. Now, this is going to go for all these Klein tools. They have, which is unique to Klein. Now, it's not unique to Klein to have double insulation on here, but what is unique to Klein is this white underlayer. Okay, so say I took a knife now and ran a knife across there. If it shows and exposes the white underlayer, that shows you that it is no longer insulated. Your insulation is compromised, okay? So you can't use it anymore for that. Now, it does say on here to dispose of the tool. I wouldn't personally dispose of the tool. Don't give it to anyone else if they don't know it's, if they don't know it's not insulated. But, you could just use it as a normal pliers and you don't use it anywhere where there's electrics present. Okay, so, but yeah, it has got that double insulation, which is really good. I like that. These handles are quite hard wearing. You can sort of, you can clean them off. The insulation goes right down to the bottom, which is nice. And they're a good, strong, solid tool. I quite like the fact that they're rough and ready, and they do feel industrial. They do feel strong, And the best thing about all these tools, which I'm going to mention tonight, apart from the screwdrivers, which are 2 years, these have all got a lifetime guarantee. So if one does fail and it snaps for some reason, as long as you're not abusing it, and as long as it's not general wear and tear, you can take it back to CEF and they'll replace it for you, no questions asked. Okay, so yeah. There's quite a lot I like about this needle nose. I love its thinness. I think it's just about the right size. I love the feeling of its handles, and I love the mechanical motion has loosened up nicely, so it's nice and loose to use. So yeah, that's a goer from me. So that gets the dance tool room thumbs up. Right, what's next? Side cutters, 160mm side cutters. Okay, these are pretty good. I'll just show you them working. Okay, so there's a nice thick beefy bit of earth cable there. Yep, through it goes. Get that quite nice. Cut through there quite nicely. Now it's not really supposed to, it's not, I suppose, designed to cut through earth cable this thick, but it does do it. And so that's quite nice with these really, and they cut through one-handed quite nicely. But yeah, so yeah, it's quite a powerful little cutters actually. It doesn't put too much strain through your hand, which is nice. Again, we double it up here that these handles are the same sort of quality. They're the same ones as the other ones, and that goes right through them all, okay? But this is really quite thick earth cable, so I'm testing these on, I'm testing it on more than it's really supposed to be designed to cut. This is more for smaller cables and things like that, okay? But yeah, this has been a really great little cutter, to be fair. Again, very industrial, and these heads, they're very, very strong metal. Very, very beefy. I like that the pivot point's nice and close. They're all nicely greased up. And yeah, this does a really good job. It strips really nicely, so that's good. At a pinch, if they're not really designed for this, but if you wanted to sort of, use this to sort of score a big thick piece of cable like this, and you can just sort of grab it, put a little bit more scoring. And again, it's not designed for this, but you can use it for this and then just strip it off. You can do that. So you can imagine if it'll do this big thick cable, then it'll do your standard cable that it's designed to do very, very easily. So that's nice. I've got a little bit here. I mean, this is the sort of size cable this is designed to cut, really. Just this little sort of tiddly cable, and that just no problem at all. So yeah, that's the sort of thing it's done. But today I'm going to be testing it with big beefy stuff, just to show you the sort of quality of these tools. Now, this has a big brother, which is this monster here. Now this is the high leverage cutter. Okay, so this one is the 2000 series as well. So that means this will cut steel, this will cut screws and nails and things like that as well. And if you just show you the difference here, just absolutely effortless. It'll just cut that all day long. Now, this one also, we're not going to give him that easy go. We'll give him something a bit beefier as well. So we've got some really thick cable there. As I told you, I'm not an electrician. This is just cable I asked my father-in-law to get me, which is a big thick battery cable. And again, you cut through that nice and easy. The blades aren't really quite big enough to get around this. You need a bit of a double chomp, but it does it quite easily without much effort. And as you can see, I can do it with one hand. Now this one has a little party trick though, which is quite cool, which means you can get down flush onto a surface, and say you've got like a screw that's sticking up or something which you don't want to be there, you can just get it, you can just sort of flush cut it and just cut it off nicely, and it does a really good job of that actually. But with this as well, if I want to cut a screw, with this, no problem, just straight through it, not a problem at all. Through it goes. And if you look at the blades, no damage to the blades at all. Now, I think it's worth mentioning on these that, obviously you wouldn't use that for that, okay? So if, but I think it's worth mentioning on this particular one, okay, that I first reviewed this, and this is when Klein first contacted me, that I was a bit annoyed with this, that there was a lot of play in the pivot point on the first one I had. Well, I said at the time I didn't know whether that was a one-off for Klein. And I will say that I've had two of these cutters since then, okay? So this is a bit of a follow-up for that. I've had no such problem with either of them. This is the one the Klein sent me. There's no play or bad play in the pivot point of this. This is absolutely fine. And one of them I gave to a friend, which was one I bought. I gave that to a friend and he hasn't had any issues with his either. So, I think with any manufacturer, you do get the odd one that's, that's got a slight quality issue with it. But as you can see, it's certainly not the norm. I do think I need to mention this because, on the last video I did, including this, I did say I had a problem with it. But these two, I've had no issues with at all. And that is the beauty of the lifetime warranty, isn't it? Because, no manufacturer is perfect. And if there is a problem with these, at least you can take them back and say, look, I got a problem with it. Please replace it. And, Klein do that without any questions asked if you take them to CEF. And that, you don't even have to send them back to Klein. That's a good thing. You take them to CEF and they'll just replace it for you, which is great. So yeah, this is the high leverage cutter. I use this a lot. I do enjoy using this. It's comfortable to use, it's effortless, and it'll cut through anything. It's really, really good. So yeah, I've enjoyed using that. Great tool. So next up then, this is Klein's combination pliers. Okay, now Klein didn't send me this one because I already had this before. This is a really nice cutter. It's 225mm long, so it's a high leverage one. So that's what it's designed for. And yeah, it's a good cutter. This I enjoy it. I mean, to be fair, I don't really use combination pliers per se to cut things because they haven't got immensely strong blades. They're just for general wires. I mean, they'll cut things like that without much problem at all. Okay. They're good for, twisting wires and things like that. And, when it comes to twisting wires, this one's a particularly good one because it's got the crisscross edge on it, okay? A lot of these combination pliers, especially in this side range, have got just those, so like the straight lines like that, like the gripping edge there. And these do grip a heck of a lot better. Okay, so they really do get a far stronger grip than your standard sort of combination pliers. So these are really good for that. They've got the crimp in them as well, which is really useful, And what I do like about these particular pliers, and I've said this on another video I've done of them because I've done quite an in-depth video on these, is I like the length here. Your hands are a long way from any potential danger, so it's got quite a big head. A lot of them, the handles start about there on these, but I really do like that these have moved the tips far away from the handles, so you've got that great big gap between the tip of that and your hands. So I like that. That's a really good thing about these. Yeah, and these are really good for, they've got quite a slim head on them as well, whereas a lot of these have got a head like a bulldog on them, and they're really hard to get into things. So it's good that you can fit these into a bit of a slimmer gap because of the slimmer head on them, which is a great thing to have. These aren't for cutting steel or anything. These are for cutting soft copper cables and stuff like that. But combination pliers aren't supposed to have a massively strong blade. That's what lineman's pliers are for. And that is something I'd like to mention. Now they do a lineman's pliers of these insulated ones. It's not the same as a combination pliers. It's a far bigger tool, and you can get those with the strong blades on them. I couldn't get one of those off Klein because they didn't have them in stock. I would have loved to have got one because I've been trying to get my hands on the original Klein combination pliers, and I feel like it's almost a crime doing reviews on all these Klein tools and not actually doing their lineman's pliers, which is their flagship, which they invented. But they're really hard to get hold of in the UK. And to be fair, even though I really think you should, because they're great tools, not many British electricians or, alarm engineers use lineman's pliers. So it's kind of irrelevant, I suppose. But this is the staple tool you'll all be using. You all use combination pliers. And this, I do believe, for the reasons I've stated, is a particularly good one. And it's high leverage as well. So you can get a good pivot point and cut in action on these. So that's them. That's the combination pliers. Right. Now, lastly, I'm going to talk about these. Now, these ones. Now, Klein did say I could be completely honest about the tools I review. These ones I have found a small problem with, and I'm going to talk about that first. Okay. and that is the stiffness of them. I was saying that most of these tools have loosened up, but it's the stiffness of these. And when they close, it kind of they rub a little bit there. Whether they're supposed to do that, I don't know, but they just touch a little bit there. So I think after a while that edge there will wear away. That doesn't matter too much because that's not the actual cutting blade of it. You wouldn't actually use any of that to cut. That's just to bring them together in this shearing action. And the thing I will say about them, now if I get this really big piece of cable here, which I didn't think it would cut through one-handed because it barely fits around it, to be fair, this thing will cut straight through that, no problem whatsoever, which I was really quite impressed with. And now, the only cable it couldn't go through was this monster, which it really isn't designed to do. So it's got that cable on it. It's got that cable like the other one. Then it's got this arm, this sort of really thick sort of sheathing through it. And then this armored thing, you can see it's managed to sort of munch through a fair bit of it there. But just getting all the way through is quite difficult because this is a hell of a cable, this is. But to get through that is, you know, oh, it's done it. So there we are, it's got through that monster. So that's quite impressive. I didn't think it would go through that, so that is quite impressive. So for what it'll cut through point of view, it's a pretty impressive beast. And obviously, you know, I'm trying to hold the camera here as well. I'm trying to sort of balance it in the space I've got and put my arms on the camera. So if I could get a bit more leverage, then it probably would have gone through easily. Now, the other thing I'll say about it though, if I want to cut something like this, you know, obviously it's no problem, it'll do it. But the weird thing is, if I get a pair of these, this is Klein's cable shears. If I get a pair of these, it's actually far easier to cut through this size cable with these than it is with these, which is a bit unusual. I mean, that is just absolutely effortless. And even though this does it quite easily, you can feel more strain through your hands cutting that with that than you can with that. However, that, in fairness to these are amazing. These are absolutely amazing. And if I could say something to Klein is, please make these with these handles, because these would be fantastic, you know, and no one does that. So if you could get these with these handles on, if that was something that was doable, that would be amazing. So you could get the 1004 handles on them as well, and the comfort grips. That'd be brilliant. So these, yeah, what I say about these is they are amazingly capable. And I don't know if that perhaps is just, again, a manufacturing thing, and I could buy another one, because I will tell you this, there's plenty of reviews of these online, and they say they're really, really, really good. So it could just be that these ones I've got a slight defect on them, but that's the thing, they just don't seem to go particularly loose, and I have oiled them, which makes them quite uncomfortable to use, but they are huge anyway. But yeah, so it's got that little niddle with it, and it is a niddle, it is nitpicking, okay? But, you know, I know Klein want me to be honest about these tools, because they want to know, you know, if there's any improvements they can make, as well as, you know, they don't want to just be told, yeah, that's fantastic, that's fantastic, that's fantastic, okay? And for 90% of their tools, I really do genuinely think they are fantastic tools. I know they want to know if there's any improvements they can make, and they want to read your comments, and they want to see what you think, so that they can make those improvements and make a better tool for you. But again, I'm guessing, to be honest, this is probably just a slight defect on one of them, because other manufacturers, other reviewers have said these are fantastic. And it's nitpicking, like I say. It is an incredibly capable tool. I mean, if you look at that, that's a heck of a cable. It really is, and it's cut through that. So yeah, if you want something that'll go through a double-decker bus, this is the cut that you want. You know, a bit stiff, I admit, but very, very, very impressive cutting power on it. Okay, and it's got these really long handles as well, big 240, 245 perhaps mil handles that really sort of give it a really good bit of leverage. So yeah, guys, so here we go then. That is the Klein Tool's range of insulated tools. And yeah, really impressed, guys. They're really well made, well engineered tools. And you know, I've been using them a lot. I've been abusing them. I've not been gentle with them, and they've worked really well. So yeah, impressive. So again, thanks again very much to Klein for sending me these. These are going to be the staple tools of the day. These go in my install bag rather than my service bag as well, because I do just find them to be big and beefy and robust. And like I say, they are a tool that you can, you know, just take back to CEF and they'll just replace them for you if they break. The screwdriver's 2 years and these are a lifetime. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed to my channel. Please keep on doing that. Please like, please subscribe. It means a heck of a lot to me that you do that. And please keep commenting. Now, I know the last couple of months have been difficult for me. There's been a lot of problems at work, and I say I've had to change jobs. Really loving my new job. For all those of you who are interested, started with a new company, learning a lot of different areas, a lot of different things. So hopefully that'll really improve my skill set, and I'll be able to show you new things as well. And again, so if I haven't commented, if I haven't replied to your comments, I apologize for that. I'll try and get through them at some point, guys. Don't give up on me, and at least give them a like, if nothing else, just to acknowledge that I have read your comments. You know I have. And yeah, please, guys, I hope you've enjoyed these videos, and please ring the bell icon, hit the bell icon so you won't miss any videos. And I've got a few coming up which I've got planned. And again, guys, I'll put the links and descriptions to all these wonderful tools, these great tools, in the description below. Klein Tool's Insulated Tool, guys, really good. These are the top tools. As I say, you know, of the brands that make tools, these are amongst the top. And you know, these are, you know, I really would rate these tools. You know, guys, there's only if anyone's watching me, there's only a few makes I'll buy, and you know, Klein are one of them. And they're, you know, even before they started sending me these tools, you know that I put a lot of my own money into these tools as well. So they're not things that I just talk about because Klein send them to me. You know, these are things I use on a daily basis. These are things I've put a lot of my own money into, and I've spent a lot of money on Klein tools. So I'm really appreciative that Klein is sending me stuff that, quite frankly, I'd probably go out and buy anyway. So maybe I shouldn't have told them that. Ignore I just said that, Klein. No, you have to send them to me. No, on a serious note, no, I would just buy these myself. So I really do appreciate them being sent to me. So big shout out to Vanessa from Super Rod and Klein. And have a good evening, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Night.